in before someone wonders what the hell is up with the otters. No. Okay, everyone. Anthony J is here. More fruity jobs. Fruity? I wouldn't describe it as fruity. I've never thought of a MacBook as fruity, unless if you spill fruity substance into the MacBook, but this MacBook does not have fruity substance. So, this is an A1989 that's having a bit trouble charging the battery. Now, this unit will run off the battery, but it doesn't charge the battery. So, we've been back and forth. This is one of those cases that's been here for a pretty long time that is just racking our brains. So we're going to try and solve this and figure out what is going on with it. So I'm going to plug in our amp meter, and it takes 20 volts, and well, one port has 5 volts, the other port has 20 volts, and 0 amps, but it actually starts. So turns on and it starts, and something was just in that fan and it fell. I don't know what it was, but something just fell, so who knows. But the thing is I see a lot of repair shops will say, like, you know, it doesn't turn on, it must have a bad battery. It's not a short on the AON rail, Anthony. But they just replaced the battery for a no power issue. And what you guys need to understand is if you have a good charger, then the machine is going to start without the battery. Now, it might hang at the Apple logo, you might have a fan speed, but the device is going to start and run without without a good battery. Now, what I can see here, the battery has been removed. Not a huge deal. The battery being removed isn't really that big of a deal. But what I look for, and what you need to look for in a true battery issue is if you unplug the charger, typically a bad battery will shut right off. Okay, usually battery cells that won't charge won't stay on. Okay, it won't supply power. In this case, it is turning and staying on. So what's going on here? I don't know. One test we could do is see if the machine will run on the charger. So we're just trying to get a kind of an idea of what's going on. So I plugged in that. I'm going to unplug our battery data cable. Let's see. Yep. And it shuts right off. Okay, that's a little bit of a hint there. So let's go ahead and get this board out, and then we'll look at the schematic and see what we could kind of figure out, what we could reason. Messing with Mac's books again. That's all I do is mess with Mac's books. Mac's books. MacBook. So I'm going to pull this board out really quickly. Here's T3. Apple, why so many different types of screws? Why? What's wrong with T5? T5. That's all you need. Gotta get better camera angles set up here. Kinda sucks, but whatever. It's not like anybody comes here to see my face, so it does not matter. Except just maybe a select few people. Good battery must be tested on a board prior, right? I mean, not necessarily. I guess. I mean, but the fact is, this device will run on the battery, but not the charger. So that's a hint there. The very first thing I want to do is I want to inspect all of the USB-C ports. Okay, all of the USB-C ports need to be inspected. 1989, Anthony. And this device was already put back in the enclosure. We thought it was fixed, and then it intermittently does this again. So Maybe we'll fix it. Uh, 1989 is not that bad of a machine. See, I have my board drilling apparatus mounted on the wall now, so I can drill boards more efficiently. So if your MacBook needs to be drilled, I could drill it from here with it on the wall, so it's less of a pain to drill a MacBook. Could drill MacBooks with ease. Wish you could see you fix something else. Like, what else do you want to see? Anytime I try and post something doing something else, people complain. I try and stream something else, I get 2 viewers. I try and stream medical equipment repair. People say, oh, you're not certified, you can't work on this. So, like, what else do people want to see repair? Because anytime I do anything else, there's bitching. So... the hell is this? Someone in YouTube chat is being not nice. Yeah, somebody in that chat is doing not nice things. Post update on car engine rebuild. The thing is like I can't stream or videotape that while lifting an 80-pound cylinder head onto the engine. So, alright, I have high blood pressure now. Anyway, let's get onto this board. No. Yeah, alright, so let me open the schematic. Luke Davis, mostly MRI stuff, MRI coils. Usually MRI coils. Silence my phone. I feel like people have a spidey sense and they know when I'm doing something and they call because they know I'm occupied. 200850. Where's my why I hate Microsoft OneDrive. Here we go. Stop reorganizing my folders, Microsoft OneDrive. Stop putting stuff in the wrong place when I click on it and say it can't be synced. I don't need anything to be synced. I need MacBook to work. That's what I need. I really need the MacBook to work so I can get money. Alright, FlexBV V5, open. Did you check shipment to Poland? I'm very interested to test 759ASX. I enabled international shipping. Let me see. Let me log into ShipStation and see if I got your order. I don't think we got your order yet. Did you submit it? Because I did not get it. FlexBV open again. Yep, there we go. 850 850 850. Here we go. Okay. Love to see some MRI repair coils. I see the thing about MRI coils is I don't really tend to like working on them because they're kind of hard. It's kind of hard work, and I know it seems like, oh, medical equipment, you know, it must be you must make a lot of money on it. And like, no, I make less than on Mac repair. Why is no? What's this? I make less on the MRI coil repairs than Mac repair because it's bottom of the barrel type stuff where so many of these large companies, first off, these are simple devices to repair. They're very simple devices to repair, and a lot of these large companies, what they do is they will simply, you send them the coil, they will swap it out with another one, then fix that one, so it's like a 24-hour turnaround time. And what people don't understand, they're just kind of like keeping a cycle going. They're just fixing the old one, giving you a new one, fixing the old one, and I don't do that. I fix it. So when it takes a week, they get pissed off. And not only that, these companies do it for a really cheap price. I mean, they do it for like incredibly cheap, like $300. And I like the amount of time it takes to work on one of them, the space it takes, it just ends up not being worth it. But I will do it from time to time when I'm requested. Anyway, here's our 820.00850. So what we need to understand is what happens when we plug in the charger. We have our USB-C controller here. We're going to search this on our PDF. I'm going to switch over to my PDF view right here. Just drag this over here, full screen. We're going to switch this to Window FlexBV PDF, and as you can see, that does not want to work. So I will go over here to Adobe Acrobat instead. And we will go full screen, and I'll show you manually because FlexBV doesn't really want to work for some reason. Let's do this, and let's look. And as you can tell, I'm kind of tired. I'm talking slow. I have chills. I don't really feel the best, but we're going to fix a MacBook. 3100. Next. Alright, so we have our voltage from the charger here, right? Okay. PP20V USB-C XA-V bus. It goes through, goes to our chip, and then if the chip says it's okay, it's going to open this MOSFET to let power to PP-DC and G3 hot, which will charge the battery, allow the board to run off charger power, or whatever. But when we go downstream, there's a few other things to look at. Well, this model is a little bit different, but I suspect something's going on with this. The CD3215 is not letting voltage through for some reason. Now, we already changed 2 of those, and it did the same thing. So, not quite sure. Keep hearing noises outside. Not quite sure what's going on, but it could also be a diode somewhere. Now, sometimes there's dual source diodes. There's diodes that will they're sourced off of both either the battery or the charger, and the diode could be bad, or there could be a bad resistor, something along those lines. But anyway, we're going to kind of dig into this and see what we can find. So as I said, this board has already been worked on pretty heavily. Switch back to that one. There we go. And it's doing the same thing. So the very first thing I want to do, I want to think of how could this have been screwed up. There was no liquid damage on the board that I could see. But I want to go ahead and remove both of our USB-C ports. And I want to see what they look like. So here's port 1. And as you can see, it's fine. So that's not a variable anymore. I don't report that to Paul because it's probably an issue with my computer. Works and tastes better than Amtech. Works better, yes. Tastes better, I don't know. No, so okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing about medical equipment. Um, I- the there's this high standards. It's okay if you're working on like surgical equipment, yes. If it's outside of that, it's the same stuff. There's no like law certification that you need or anything. If it's okay, no matter if you screw up an MRI coil, that is not going to affect patient care. What it's going to do is maybe provide poor images. The tech's going to switch out the coil and swap it. Not a big deal. What's going to happen, or what we even see, like, okay, a lot of these coils are worked on by GE or Siemens or any of these warranty companies. Their soldering is awful, okay? And these are the certified repair centers, so it is no different. It does not have to be like meticulous this and that. No, they're simple boards, and there's a whole lot less precision involved in working on those, where I could do it half asleep versus a MacBook that requires a lot more precision. So no, that's kind of nonsense. It's kind of nonsense. It's a misconception. If anything, medical repair, there's more nonsense that goes on than Mac repair, or what I figured is just any repair type industry is. Okay, and our other port also looks fine. So external factors does not look like an external factor, so that leaves an internal factor. Something on this board failed, causing it to do what it does. I don't know what that will be. We're going to find out. GE portable ultrasound machines to run Doom on. I mean, they're just Xeon-based machines, or I know the MRI stuff, it's just they're just older HP Xeon stuff. But I too want an ultrasound. I want an ultrasound machine too. I want to scan my lymph nodes. Who doesn't want to scan their own lymph nodes? Wouldn't it be cool to get an ultrasound? Have an ultrasound probe and be like, look, I could see my lymph nodes. That would be cool. That would be really cool. Anyway, enough lymph node nonsense. Lymph nodes are cool to look at in ultrasound. There's so many features lymph nodes have on ultrasound. CT and MRI, they're just balls. Not balls, but little oblong beans. I should say beans. The lymph node more looks like a bean in CT. Unless there's a big one, and that's different. Anyway, so what I'm going to do, I want to check on every port if we're getting PPDC in G3 hot voltage. And I'm going to find that. Yawning. There we go. All right, so PPDC and G3 hot. I usually will look around the ISL, and it does show up on some capacitors near the ISL. So what I want to do is I want to check what PPDC and G3 hot is near the ISL chip. And in our case, it's going to show up on these capacitors right here. So, and like I said, this board had work on it. We did work on this board. So there's going to be some residue of flux. And we have 5 volts on this one. And what are we getting over here? Are we getting 5 volts here? 5 volts. Okay, interesting. Now this one. Also 5 volts. And I'm getting 5 volts right there too. Now I want to see what PP bus G3 hot is. I want to see if we're even getting PP bus, because that would, if our buck converter is not sending out PP bus, then that could definitely cause something like this. I'm getting 12.28. So it is working, but our T2 is not running. Very, very odd. And this makes me think that something with one of our ports, one of our CD3215s might be screwed up still. or there's a trace or a resistor. We'll do that same exact test on the other ports this time. Alright, we have 5 volts, so that one is working. I'm going to actually plug it in. And 5 volts. And then are we getting PP bus still on this one? PP bus. Yes. Okay. So, we have roughly the same amp draw in every port. The next thing I want to look at is with our other USB amp meter, the one that will show us the what state the CD3215 is. I want to check every single port and see if one is giving something funny. So on this one, I'm going to plug it in. DCP 1.5 amp switching to unknown. Not very flattering. Okay. This one, PD 2.0 fixed. That's what I want to see, but nothing else. So we possibly have one bad CD3215 on the side that we did not replace. And PD 2.0 fixed on this port. That's what I want to see. And PD 2.0 fixed on this other port. Okay. So we have one bad CD3215, and it's not even a CD3215 that we messed with. So what we're going to do is find out which one that is. So is it our top port? Is it our bottom port? And we're going to replace it. And then we're going to have a happy, healthy MacBook. Hopefully a happy, healthy MacBook. Ah, 5 volts, 23, PD 2.0 fixed. And it is our top one. So which CD3215 does that belong to? Well, I don't know. But we're going to figure that out too. I don't want that. I want window capture. And over to there we go. And it doesn't work. Where is it here? There we go. Okay, so it's our top port here. So our top port is going to go to probably our bottom chip. Just confirm. I like to look at a few of these lines. I just click around. You don't need to know exactly which line. Just click. Do clicky, and it's going to be the bottom port. I'm sure of it. Or our mux is bad. That's always a possibility. But it sounds like a CD3215 is bad. And whoever is sending people to my shop, I hope that you're paying them for your scams, because we're not paying for them. I'm sorry. Alright, so yeah, this is going to be our bottom port. So this is our bottom CD. And the tricky part about these is we're probably going to have to replace them both anyway. Or at least reball them both. Because hang on 1 second. It's underfilled. So there's a good chance that we're going to float it. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to look and see if there's any signs that anyone else has been on this side, because I haven't. But no, it looks fine. Um, aha, look at that. Look at that. That's after ultrasonic. I did not see that. See? Sometimes you have to dig deeper. And sometimes after you ultrasonic something becomes intermittent. So it will become, like sometimes stuff with ultrasonic, when after you ultrasonic clean, it'll work intermittently. Then after you ultrasonically clean it, then it'll die completely. Then you can actually find the fault. But this corrosion here doesn't look too bad. Like that's not bad at all. I've seen much worse. Let's get a little bit of flux. Oliver says hi there. Hello to you too, Oliver. Yeah, see, these pins look fine. When I'm running my iron across them, that one doesn't. Look at that. There we go. That was our fault. Okay? That was our fault. Right there. Look at that pad. That pad is no more. That pad passed away. And that's why we were having intermittent charging issues. All it takes is something like that. Now, you see, this was intermittent. I replaced pretty much everything I thought could be wrong. That looked fine, okay? But I obviously missed the corrosion. Humans miss stuff. Hint, sometimes it takes a couple looks because humans are flawed creatures. But yeah, there we go. So it was intermittent. It was holding on. We ultrasonicked it. That forced the fault. It forced it to stop working. And here we are. Now we could actually fix this. So let's see what kvolted value Apple used for this resistor that we could find and replace it. Let's see. I think the logic to, yeah, that's just, it's just an, overcomplicated laptop with an Intel CPU. There's no, like, I don't get the point of that. So these two resistors, this was a pull-down resistor here, this one, and what's our value? Looks like our value is 15K. Like I said, kvolted value, 15K. Do I have any of those? No. And a 2.2K. No, that's not a 2. Oh no, I'm wrong. I was looking at the wrong one. So our one with the busted pad is a 1 milliohm, 1 mega ohm, not milliohm, 1 mega ohm, and the one next to it is a 15K. So 1 meg and a 15K. Let's go. Little bit of flux. No, I didn't want to use hot air. You get back here, little capacitor. You get back here. No, go home. That's not home. Whatever. I'll use hot air. I just have to be careful. So 1 mega ohm, 15 kilo ohm. Let's grab a donor board. I hope someone enjoys their $250 cancellation fee to what they did here. Flux looks like honey. That's right. It does look like honey. Won't the LDOs tell you which one is bad? Sometimes. Not always. Donor board 820000850. And this board has a different configuration. It's alright. What is this capacitor even for? Do I need this? Do I need this capacitor? No, I don't need that capacitor. So putting this capacitor back on is going to be more risk to the chip than anything. So we're going to just leave it off. I'm going to hand solder these in. So here's our 1 mega ohm. It's going to go right here. And stuck. My iron is stuck. This is a good weapon. It's a really pointy tip. This is the mini hot tweezers are better for this stuff. If you can get them on the pads. Now what I can do with it close, I'm going to get both close and I'm going to go in with the small hot air and just flow it into place with the small high pressure hot air. So this other one was a 15, I believe, 15K. Haha, I wonder what happens if I put a 10K there. Funny things happen. Funny. 15K. Yeah, bad stuff. We're not going to do that today. Let's find another. Sometimes these have different configurations around the chips, and in this case, I'm going to pull one from the other side. If I can get to it on the other side on the donor, that's a good question if I can or I can't. And let's see, is it easy to get to? Of course not. It's surrounded in underfill. And it's gone from this side, right? Nope, 15K. Okay. So we'll take it from there. Who moved my hot air wand all the way over here? It doesn't belong there. Why was my hot air wand over there? I wouldn't do anything like that. Alright, it's kind of in place. I'm just going to go for the air. I'm going to go for the like 3mm nozzle or whatever it is. We're just going to be quick. There's one. There's two. I could do the rest with the iron. Quick, easy, in and out before the underfilled chip was damaged. A little more, then I'll go into my BC2. We'll touch it up. There's that. Gonna clean up our flux. Gotta clean our mess when we're done. Always gotta clean our mess. Let's go to my chat. How did you come up to 759 ASX naming? Does it matter? I just came up with it. It's like, how did I come up with TCRS circuit? Hang on here. I'm doing something. Okay, we're going to clean up our flux. And that's good. Now we see if we get to 20 volts again. So PD 2.0 fixed. Come on, switch. 20 volts, and that looks like that's booting current. That's booting current. That's booting current. This is a fixed book of Mac. This is a fixed book of Mac. What about this one? PD 2.0 fixed. I fixed the book. I fixed the book. Now we reassemble it and see if it charges the battery. All these scammers in chat. No more mod for scammers. No more mods for scammers. No, scammers cannot be a mod anymore. Gonna reassemble this. Boring reassembly stream. Could probably make it more interesting with some like senseless rambling about stuff. Senseless rambling about nonsense always tends to bring in viewership. It's a way to make reassembly more fun. I could do it right here and I could ramble about nonsense into the camera. That'll be fun. Looks like I need a new personal cell phone number. I need a new cell phone number. For various related scams. Can refund about 87p. What's that mean? Okay. We're gonna reassemble this. And I keep picking up the wrong screws. Okay. So now we're gonna put this back together and then hopefully I could send an invoice. It's always nice to fix a MacBook than get to send an invoice. That's the best thing ever. Fixing a MacBook than sending an invoice. I highly recommend fixing MacBook and sending an invoice. That kind of thing is very good for spirits. Who wants in chat, who thinks TCRS circuit needs a shop order? That's my real question. Who in chat thinks TCRS circuit needs a shop order? I think we need a shop order. But no one else really agrees with me. So I really think we need an order. I should seek some external counsel on this matter. Almost done. I hate reassembly. I really hate reassembly. Lewis had a sheep for the longest time, so an otter wouldn't look out of place unless you mean a real. No, I mean a real one, like an otter here on my desk, alive. What's wrong with that? It's a good sort of animal to have on your desk. Watch the film A Ring of Bright Water before pursuing otter custodianship. No, okay. On a good day, I could barely take care of myself, let alone a otter. What's the Ryobi thing on the wall? It has a dead battery. It's to drill teeth if I want to pursue dentistry. Yeah, TCRS dentistry. TCRS discounted dentistry. It's good. That's what we need. Discounted dentistry. Probably good money. Illegal, but good money. Hey, in the world of Mac repair where Apple is making stuff harder to fix every year, kind of have to think about other options. Did I pick up? I did pick up the wrong thing. Discounted dentistry. I smell an incoming lawsuit. Fine. Discounted surgery. You guys in chat are such a killjoy. Discounted surgery. No pulse, no fee. No pulse, no fee. Any surgery, $49.95. No pulse, no fee. Good sort of idea. Waiting for the knock at the door from like the California Department of Health because someone took me. It's literal. That would be hilarious. I wouldn't doubt it. Like it. The funniest thing is I finally start offering discounted shipping. I mean, not discounted shipping, international shipping. Now, keep in mind, international shipping is not cheap. Okay, it's not cheap. And you offer international shipping, then they get mad about the price. The same people that beg you. It's like 3 or 4 people so far today. Like, do you want me to lose money shipping you Flux? What am I supposed to do? It's not free. It's not free. It's not free. Shipping is not free. Making Flux is not free. That's what I think. I get this from vendors. I get this from other people. Like, not like I'm not buying this. Okay, I don't buy this and then relabel it. Okay, and okay, here's my labels. Right, I don't know why I had them on my desk, but here's my labels. Right, let's go grab something. Here's just 2 partially filled tubes that I pulled off of the thing. Here is a giant big bag of 30cc air syringes. Alright. Like, none of this stuff is bought. It's all, well, the syringes are bought, but the flux itself is made here, fully. In every part is made here. I guess what I could prove too is here's a small container of some rosin. Okay, that's natural pine rosin in there. But none of this stuff, none of this researching all of this stuff, developing it, going through thousands and thousands, actually no, tens of thousands of dollars to develop it. None of it is free. And to kind of get doubted and kind of pissed on by the repair community a little bit, it's kind of like a smack in the face, like, really? Like, really? But it is what it is. It kind of feels like at the end of the day when you try so hard but still fail, it's like, just like a defeat feeling. Okay, we need shields. Here's though, I was wondering, I knew something wasn't right here. Here's more screws. Called the Discovery Channel and since a new episode of How It's Made. I was gonna make a video, and who wants to see this? Okay, because I'm not gonna give out my formulas. Okay, I've got pissed off people asking for the formulas, and they got told no, and they got upset. But how would people like to see a video of how to make a functional, no clean Tachyflux at home? Would that be nice? Something? It's not going to be top of the line, but it'll be decent. It'll work. But I can make a video on how to do that if you want. But giving out formulas like that? No, you're crazy. How I responded to that is I told the person asking, I said, call up Amtech, and if Amtech will give you any of their formulas, I'll gladly post mine publicly. Guess what? They didn't reply. I wonder why. A few more screws, guys. Few more screws. I guess I could do this after. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I would see how they would have to skip steps in videos like that because, like, yeah, you don't. It's like stuff is not easy to develop. Like it's really not. I wish people would understand that it's not just, oh, I'm gonna mix a bunch of stuff. No, a lot of work goes into this. A lot of thought. A lot of late nights go into it. I spent, say, probably $30,000 developing thermal paste and flux together, of my own money. So yeah, it's not something I'm just gonna like, oh, here's the formula. No, it doesn't work that way. Sorry. Such is life. You can't always get what you want. Okay, whatever. This is together enough. I need one spare screw. Take it from here, and then I could show you guys it works. I mean, why should I rush? Who cares? I should just keep going. Why am I being pressured to rush? We have 10-gram syringes. By 10 grams, I assume assume CC. But yeah, there's 10-gram syringes of 759 ASX. Yeah, just go here. Here's the 10 CC. Hang on. Did I just see something that says TCRS, the chicken place? The Chicken Rice Shop is abbreviated as TCRS. Tennessee Retirees. That's not the real TCRS. There's what's all this TCRS nonsense? No. Wonder, like, let's play a game of let's search TCRS circuit on Reddit and see what nonsense comes up. Let's go. Where's Chrome? Come on, Chrome. Here we go. I guess. No? Doesn't want to work? Fine. Display capture. To add new display. Display. Okay. No. Yes. There. Okay. Yeah, let's... Oh, it's like weird. Let's look up TCRS circuit on Reddit. The guy on TCRS circuit was irate about another Apple authorized shop either being too clueless or unethical to diagnose a small... Let's see. Oh, that's cool. Irate about the other Apple's authorized shop being too clueless or unethical to quickly diagnose a small problem. Oh, come on. I got trolled by my own ad. That's back when Tim had... Oh, speaking of hair. Okay. Everybody in chat needs to send an email. Let me find it. Because giving phone numbers out isn't cool. But, yes. Hair complaints? Yeah, so if anybody wants to complain about my hair, you email lizjones74@yahoo.com. That person. Like right now, everybody in chat. Let her know that this nonsense, bad. It needs to be like this video again. Hair complaints. Yes, hair complaints. I've gotten like, I get messages. Your hair, you need a haircut. You need this. Comb your silly hair. Comb your damn hair all the time. Okay, like one, I don't care how I look for one. I haven't brushed my hair in forever. I don't brush my hair. I get up. Oh, I remember doing this video. Okay. Okay. That's okay. That's a good one. So far one good one. What else? Drive savers, no. TCRS or Rossmann repair. I second TCRS circuit in Rossmann. Good, okay. Who's this person? TCRS on YouTube. I was expecting someone to be pissed off. Let's see. Nothing's coming up. Oh, yeah, it's Reddit. Oops. Oh well. Oh well. You just can't search for anything on Reddit without something coming up. It's such a scam. Okay, I'm on display capture. This could have been bad. Let's go back to... Not even that. There we go. My accent is nothing like Lewis's. I get told that a lot. I'm not from New York. I'm from California. I don't know, maybe I watched Lewis too much as a kid. Who knows? Okay, back to reassembling this. Reddit is a scam, says I agree, Reddit is a scam. I agree. Reddit is a scam. Can you up volume a little bit? When I hear beeps from Windows, I get glasses bumped from the shelf. I don't understand. I'm sorry. Can you volume up a little? When I hear beeps from Windows, I get glasses bumped from the shelf. Windows 10. Windows. Windows beeps. It's good. My voice is very, very quiet. What's weird is it's bumping the red in OBS. The same time I hear ding-dongs from Windows, glasses fall down from I don't understand. I'm sorry. I don't understand what that means. But I can... It's okay, it's literally, it's hitting the warning, the clip, red clip on the audio interface. So I turn your sound up. I don't know. But I don't understand. I'm sorry. With the glasses or the falling from the shelf. Yes, but please send hair complaints to that email address. I've noticed my hair is starting to actually fall out. As you could see, there's like, you could see my scalp. That's not a good thing. Okay, I put wrong screws in places because I'm distracted by you people in my chat. I don't get what that comment says. I'm sorry, guys. Let's ask ChatGPT, what does this mean? Because I don't know. I don't know what it means. Sorry. I forget this machine uses silver screws for the USB-C, gray screws for the trackpad and keyboard. CMI zappers here. I really need to do the video on your stuff. I am so sorry that I have neglected to do that for this long. I am truly sorry. I feel really bad about it. You know what? We should do that. I need to do a dedicated video on that. I'm looking for the shield that disappeared. Oh, it's not disappeared. It's right here. More like a Windows torture. Yeah, like a Windows torture, exactly. Briz is here. Alright, we're wrapping up. We have only a couple more screws to go. Plug in the antennas. And we're going to watch our battery charge. Do you want to see our battery charge? I think we have 2 more screws. Yep. 1. Three more. And we're missing 1. I hate when screws run. There's like a black hole that every repair shop has that screws run away and you can't find them. It's okay. It could be a black screw. We don't discriminate against screw colors here. 1 silver screw, 1 black screw. That's healthy. That's good. Alright, now we're going to plug in. So the CD3217 is completely different. The footprint of the CD3217 is completely different. Like the pins are way far different. CD3215 is a Texas Instruments TPS 62 something that is reprogrammed with different firmware for Apple machines only. The 17 is unlike anything else. There's this weird footprint. It's only found on Apple machines. The CD3217 has a built-in MOSFET when the CD3215 does not. It has to use an external MOSFET. So yeah, they're quite a bit different. And I think these chips, the USB controllers, they run off of ARM. They're basically ARM CPUs, and they might have different processor cores. Okay, so let's see now. That almost knocked some stuff over. That wasn't good. Let's see now if this boots and charges. So I like to see around 3 amps when we're charging, so we're going to let this boot up. Alright. And I am pulling 2.37 amps, which is what I would suspect would be a adequate charging voltage on a 13-inch machine. Let's just check touch bar. Touch bar works. Okay. It's going to restart. And we have a chime. We have an Apple logo. And you're not going to be able to see the customer's name from this far away, so I'm not going to bother covering it. And we're at 30%. 2.8. We're going to watch that. We're going to watch that. You guys can't see it because 1, you see the name. Seeing the name is bad. And 2, it's too far away. So you're going to take my word. But it's at 31. You know what? No, you can see it. You can see it. Right. Okay. We're going to watch, just like a spinning fan, you're going to watch a rising battery. Will this work? Well, I don't want the machine to fall. That would be, it wouldn't be nice to let the MacBook fall. MacBook did nothing to deserve to fall. And it's still not right. Come on. I don't want this to... Just can't get it in a good position. Why? Okay. There. It's not going to fall like that. 32! There. I'm going to hold it steady. I'm going to keep my hand under it. So if it falls, it'll fall in my lap. It's 32. Come on, go higher. $33. Should be 42. So you guys want to watch 34. You guys want to watch this until it reaches 42? Okay. Have fun. Check the voltage rising. I don't need to check the voltage rising. The board will tell me through this. Oh, the answer of everything should be 42. And to the 15 people in chat, I want you to stop what you're doing right now. And if you have any complaints about my hair, send them to lizjones74@yahoo.com. Stop what you're doing. Send to that email address. It's more important than anything. It is the most important thing you could do all day long, is send complaints about my hair to that email address. It's by far the most important thing to do. And wow, I just got a lot more. No! It shut off. Gonna have to wait for it to boot back up. Come on. Yeah, I'm sorry. Now you have... There, now it booted. Now it can go back up. Alright, 36%. Alright, it's fixed. It's fixed. I don't understand why suddenly there's 37 people in my chat, or 37 viewers when it was like 14 all day. That doesn't make sense, but to the people just getting in, we're pretty much wrapping up here. So, I'm sorry, but 32. That's kind of weird that it just spiked like that. That must be the YouTube algorithm doing weird stuff. I don't know, but it is what it is. Okay, so this is fixed. I think that's good to go. So that's it for right now. Unless, you know what, let me see. Is there anything remaining that might make a fun stream? When I say fun, I mean an actual fun stream that's not nonsense. Let's see. Let's go grab something. Intermittent boot up issues. Power's on. Not powering on. Oh, but there's flux on it. No. Maybe a dark screen. We can do a dark screen. Both ports not charging. Maybe. Dead nans. Don't want that. No, not fun. Okay. Maybe one of these. Or let's actually take a look at, we have a 2141. Where's my phone? $173 viewers. That's very unusual. Let's see. A2141. That has unresponsive. Okay, let's take a look at this. The screws are already out for us. $21.41. Oh, this has been worked on. This has been worked on. This has been worked on. What the hell is going on? 247 viewers? I don't have anything retro to fix, sadly. Something non-Apple would be fun, but the thing is I don't have anything non-Apple to fix. Okay, a Dell Dimension 2400. This is funny because the first computer ever that I fixed as a professional was a Dell Dimension 2400. Let's see if I can still find this ticket. Oh, this is going to be a blast from the past. Dell. Oh, it was a 4700. 4700. Oh, and it was there 3 times. What is a Dell Dimension 4700? Dell 4700. Yeah, this is what a 4700 was. In stock. Radwell. Radwell is yeah, I've heard that name. $175 for Dell Dimension 4700. What is a 2400? Because 2400, oh, it uses the same case. Okay, but yeah. I worked on this machine 3 times. Replaced RAM, not powering on. Okay, and then it came back. Of course it came back. Not powering on. Powered up fine, no issue found. And then it came back. With bad sectors. and then they wanted an SSD and the power supply replaced. And then they went away, and it went to e-waste because they never picked it up, because who wants to fix a Dell Dimension whatever? 362. I don't understand what's going on with 500 something viewers. That's fishy. That can't be. That's some kind of a scam. Yeah, someone's pulling some bot or something. Okay, so this is an A2141, not responsive. So not responsive could mean a lot of things. But let's plug it in, and it had screws missing. The shield from the T2 is removed, and it looks like, well, first let's 574. All right, 20 volts and 0.11. PD 2.0 fix, 0.8. Guys probably can't see that. Let me try and lean forward. Yeah, there's no way you're going to see that. But 20 volts, 0.08. That essentially could mean anything on this particular machine. We're going to pull the board out. The 1989 was fixed. The 1989 had a corroded resistor that I missed. Seen this over in PLD land? You should not like it when the number rises like... No, you should not like it when the number rises like that, especially on an A2141, because the A2141 16-inch MacBook MacBook Pro is not a good machine. I don't believe this viewership scam. Something's not right here. Someone's doing some kind of a bot. Oh no, maybe not, because it's on the front page of my recommended. So I think that's YouTube being like, oh, I don't know. Weird. But that's also good that email I posted in chat, lizjones74@yahoo.com, is there, because people in chat, if you think that I look unprofessional because my hair is like this and partially falling out on one side, it looks like, yeah, who knows why. But yeah, to the 582 people in chat, you should email lizjones74@yahoo.com and let them know that my hair, it's not good. Something, I don't know. Anyway, carrying on. Let's get this board out. Where's my T3? Here it is. It's just funny how the YouTube algorithm, YouTube will be like, we're not going to send notifications out to anybody. We're not going to notify anybody of your new videos, but then in a random boring live stream, YouTube is like, here, take this video, and then have 500 people come on. Interesting. But that's good. And there was a missing screw from under the shield here, and that's how I know someone didn't put the right screw back in, or didn't put any screw at all in. That's another hint this has been worked on. So we'll see what happens here. So we're going to get the board out, and we're going to try and fix the board. Can't guarantee if the board will be fixed, but we will see, because these 2141s tend to fail in a very bad way. And that very bad way usually results in total data loss, because and I'll get into this more in a second here, but these A2141 MacBook Pros tend to fail in the way that the voltage regulator that supplies power to the SSD fails, and when it fails, the job of this chip is to turn 12 volts into 2.5 volts. So what happens is it fails, and it sends the whole 12 volts right to your SSD. And when this happens, you're not getting your data back, unfortunately. Okay. Let's get this out. That's loud. We need a T8 to Get these hinge screws out. And I know this is the boring part, getting the board out, but whatever. You're kind of young to you lose your hair. Yeah, you're kind of young to be in the repair business too, but I think okay, hair loss, gray hair, both of those go part and part with owning an electronics repair business. That just happens. Alright, we're gonna get this off. Come on. There we go. T8 real quick. And let's see what's wrong. So as always, we're going to start with a visual inspection of the board. So before anything, we just want to inspect the board. We want to see if there's any corrosion, any signs of previous rework, any signs of short circuits, anything in general like that. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to look under the board. There we go. Yeah, Ruggers Customs is absolutely correct. Blame customers. Yeah, exactly. Blame customers. You know that meme online where it shows the let's see, starting your job meme. Starting meme versus after a few years. There's this, let me try and find it. Yeah, exactly. Right here. This right here sums it up. This is, no, not that. Fine, just, yeah. This right here. This is me. This was me in 2016. This is me now. See? Well, you could pretend that hat is hair, and then that's me now. That's me greeting customers in 2016, and that's me greeting customers in 2023. Okay. Anyway, 8200-1700, in case anyone wants to follow around. 20 volts, 0.08, came in with customer complaint of unresponsive. Went to a data recovery company first, and the shield for the T2 was removed. Not a good sign. Anyway, we're going to look. You see, this is a Toshiba NAND that was made in China, TSB CHNA. And that looks, uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Someone was here. Someone was here. Yeah. So, remember how I talked about in the beginning that there's this chip? There's this chip that likes to fail? And when that chip likes to fail, it likes to fail in a way that sends 12 volts to your SSD? Yeah, that's it right there. And guess what? It has flux around it, which means somebody replaced it or reflowed it. So let's go to the schematic. Let's talk about what this is, what it does, and how you diagnose it, and what you can do if you have a 2019 16-inch MacBook Pro. Well, one, I recommend if you have a 2019 16-inch MacBook Pro, I recommend that you change that to not having a 2019 16-inch MacBook Pro as soon as you can. But if you cannot change that, what you're going to do, if you have a if you have a 2019 MacBook Pro, 16-inch, 13-inch is better, but the 16-inch, what I recommend is you keep it free of dust, and after it's free of dust, I recommend you take it apart. If you're capable of taking it apart and putting it back together and having it still work, that's a big part. And what you're going to do, you're going to go on Amazon or eBay or whatever platform, you're going to buy some MG Chemicals 419D. I'm going to post that in chat. So MG Chemicals 419D. So let's see, DigiKey. DigiKey has it. DigiKey is friendly. So MG Chemicals 419D. You're going to buy this. Oh, it's too long. Get a different link. It's too long for me to post. What a scam. T-Equipment has it. T-Equipment's fine too. So you don't just follow this. This is just the name of it. Find somewhere to buy this. I'm not sponsored by DigiKey, although DigiKey, if you're watching, you should sponsor me. I buy your chips from your website. So sponsor me, DigiKey. But anyway, buy that. What you're going to do, you're going to get a Q-tip or tweezer or anything. I like Q-tips because they're, you know, they're cheap. And what you're going to do, you're going to dip that in there, and you're going to, on this side of the board, you're going to find U9080, I believe it is, right here. It says EC180. Looking at the board, if you have the board out of the machine, okay? So if the board is out of the machine, right, it's right here. You're going to put a drop of that on it. And then what you're going to do, you're going to leave the board on your desk for like 5 hours, and you're not going to touch it until it dries, because if you turn it on when it's wet, it's going to fry the chip and kill your SSD. Okay? But you're going to put some of that on there, and then you're going to flip the board over. Now, some machines won't have this on this side. It depends on how much storage you have. Not all machines have this populated, but there's another chip, the same circuit at the bottom right here. You're going to see those two little big squares by it. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to put another drop on that, and you're going to leave it alone for like 5 hours, not touching it, not plugging it in, not plugging the charger into it. Let it be until that is fully cured. And then you don't have to worry about this happening to you. Well, it still might happen to you, but it cuts that risk by like 80%. So, yeah, do that. See, Luke in chat, he's giving bad advice because he's saying do not own a 16-inch 2019 MacBook Pro. Instead, invest in an A1286 15-inch MacBook Pro. But if you buy the A1286 15-inch MacBook Pro, you'll end up with a dead GPU. So that's kind of not the best advice, Luke. Shame on you. You shouldn't recommend that. Well, 2012 A1286 is fine, but the 2011 A1286 isn't the best. Yes, and disconnect the battery. Well, you got to disconnect the battery to get the board out. But I cannot stress this enough. If you're not capable of taking this device apart, don't do it, because you can break it, and a lot of people do break them. So if you're capable, if you're fully capable, then yes. And when I say fully capable, I mean fully capable. I've seen many electronics engineers, and this is like these 15-inch machines plus electronics engineers plus trying to fix stuff all comes part and part, but some of the worst destruction I've seen has been by electronic engineers that try and fix their stuff. No offense, but like designing a board, designing a schematic is not the same as taking a device apart. I'm just speaking what I've seen. I thought that was the A1297. Oh, it was the A1297 too. It was the A1297 and A1286, both 2011. Both of those have dead GPUs. They use the same GPU, and both will have dead GPUs eventually. So. Yeah, I have a 2012 board and a 2011 A1286 chassis. Yeah, and that's still a nice machine. That's still like patch Big Sur onto it or Catalina, and it still works fine. Anyway, let's go on to the schematic. So after we talked about preventative measures, the best preventative measure is get rid of that MacBook and buy a ThinkPad Z16 like this. Look, it's just like a MacBook. It's just like a MacBook, but better, and it won't die, and it has a removable SSD. And then you could stream on 4K with it, and it works fine, and it doesn't overheat, and it has an AMD CPU. It's better. 2008, and you're watching YouTube on that? Okay, carrying on. Okay, so going back to this board, what we know, so the facts is we have a board that does not turn on. We have a chip that looks like it's been replaced, and this chip is very suspect for failure. So I'm going to open up a board view for an A201-1700, and I'm going to show you guys this, right? So we're going to go over to display capture again. So, and for the people looking for the component numbers for what you want to conformal code, it is U9580 if populated, and U9080. Okay, so if we look at this, we're going to look at the schematic first. I'm just going to search U9580. We're going to go over here, and we have a chip. and it's on the other screen. There we go. So we have our input right here. Now that is PP bus G3 hot. Now PP bus, Paul, your schematic just crashed. Paul, summon Paul Daniels. Somebody summon Paul Daniels. We need the assistance of Paul Daniels. We need Paul Daniels to fix my Flex board view. No, we're just messing. Flex board view is very good software. Okay. Back to display capture. And okay, so we have PP bus G3 hot. Now, in most machines, PP bus or P bus, anything like that, that's the main power rail. On this particular machine, that main power rail is going to be between 12 and 13 volts. Okay. That comes from the battery, comes from the charger, whatever. That's this chip's source voltage. We see we have VIN. Now VIN means voltage input. Okay, we have VIN1, we have VIN2. It's basically the same thing going to two pads on the chip. We have an enable, which comes from a PMIC. By PMIC, I mean power management IC. And then we have our outputs, SW1, SW2. And we follow that, we see we have an inductor. Okay, anytime we see an inductor, this little squiggly thing on the schematic right there, that means it is going to be either a buck converter or a boost converter. Now, a buck converter is going to lower the voltage, and a boost converter is going to raise the voltage. Now, since we have PP bus here, this is 12.3 to 13 volts, and we have our output, which is, let's look, let's figure that out. Oh, right here, it tells us 2.5 volts, and it crashed again. Okay. I'm going to stay calm. I'm going to stay calm. I'm going to stay calm. I'm going to... We love Australians. We're not gonna say bad things about Australians right now. We're gonna stay calm. We're gonna regain composure. Okay. We could blame Rob. I think Rob did a lot of coding on this. We could blame Rob Brown. He's in chat. We need someone to blame. We don't want to blame Australians, so we'll blame Rob Brown. Anyway, we have 2.5 volts. So this is going to be bucking 12 volts to 2.5 volts. And that's going to power a function of our, this is our main NAND power. Now, what do you think is going to happen to the NAND if that chip fails and becomes a wire? So out of all the ways this chip can fail, it could short to ground, it could simply stop putting out its output, but no, this chip likes to fail in the way that instead of shorting to ground, instead of just losing its output, it becomes a wire. And that 12 volts goes right to your SSD. Now, I wonder what happens if we send 12 volts directly to an SSD. Let's see. Let's see. I think we have an SSD. Let's send 12 volts to an SSD. Let's send 12 volts to an SSD and see what happens to the SSD that we send 12 volts to. Let's see. Here's our SSD. We're going to send 12 volts, and we're going to see what happens. Let's see. I'm curious. I just wonder what's going to happen to this SSD. I just wonder. Wonder what's going to happen when we send 12 volts to this poor SSD. Any fire? Come on, do something. Okay, well you get the point. It's not good. Let's yeah. Let's see. Let's try a little different area on the board. Let's try over here. So let's rethink this. Let's send 12 volts to the SSD over here. I wanted a more... Okay, but inside the SSD, what's going to go on is, imagine these are all the little cells containing your data. If you send 12 volts, that's what's going to happen to them. They're going to die. And that's how these machines kill themselves. Okay? And when we talk about resistance to ground on NANDs, we have to be cautious because depending how NANDs work, it's basically like cells of charged capacitors. And that's a very rough explanation. But they're kind of like capacitors. Let me make sure my display capture is off. See. And we're back to 23 viewers. Interesting. Why hasn't Apple learned and put a 2-volt Zener or something like that on the SSD power rails, or a buck converter with proper feedback and crowbar? I don't know. You think they would learn, but they haven't. Going back on chat. A2485 is the best MacBook. No, not really. I don't like that machine at all. Anyway, so when we look at resistance on the SSD, we have to be cautious in the fact that if there's more data on the NANDs, then they're going to have lower resistance to ground, but the resistance to ground shouldn't be like 1 ohm, okay? We should be seeing, you know, like 60 ohms or something higher. And in this case, we have 92 ohms to ground on the NAND, which is pretty good. Okay, so this SSD might not be dead. So 392, and one thing I like to look at too is the resistance on the other side. Okay, so we'll compare. And the other side is 400 ohms, so that's pretty good. That's close. That's pretty close. And just to show you guys again what this does, so what we don't want is like one side to be like 60 ohms and the other side to be like 2,000 ohms. We don't want that big of a difference. And Caleb is being creepy in chat as usual. That's why he's no longer a mod on our channel, because he's creepy. And let's see. Where is it? 20 volts, 0.08. See what it does. I suddenly feel like I'm in Australia. Yeah, so 20 volts, 0.7, 0.6, whatever. Okay. So the facts is, we could have a dead NAND. We could have dead chip. What concerns me is the flux around it, okay? Another possibility is a bad PMIC. So let's check for, oops, that was bad. Don't do that. Don't do what I just did. Go back to voltage. Zero 0.9, 0.9, 0.8, and do we have our 2.5 volt? Uh-oh, that's not good. Yeah, we have like volts. We have like volts on our 2.5 volt rail. This is exactly how this fails, okay? No, this can't be wrong. This can't be right. Something's... Well, if it's not getting the full 12 volts, there might be a chance. Let's see, I just want to briefly measure here. Yeah, it's getting 7 volts. It's not good. Okay, so this is why. And the thing is this seems like things someone replaced and they did with it. But yeah, 7 volts is not good. Let's see if our NANDs are shorted to ground now. They're not hot, so I think there might be a chance. Believe it or not, I think there might be a chance that this board will actually have a chance of living. Now we're at 64 ohms, so that's not ideal, but what's the other side now? 58 ohms. Okay, so there's a chance. Okay. Well, we're going to remove this. This is the wrong tip, but I'm going to fly with it because it's here. This is really not the right tip. I should change it. Should stop and change my tip. Oh, and it's bridged under there. Maybe. Looks like it might have been bridged. Explain why it's 7 volts. Alright, I'm going to clean this up. And I don't think we should... Is there a way I could create a poll in chat? That would be cool to create a poll. Can I create a poll? Do you buy original keyboard assemblies with batteries? I do not. Start a poll. Yes. Will the SSD be dead? Let's see what people think. It got 7 volts. That's what my meter measured, was 7 volts. Yes, we're only getting yeses. 75% yes, 83% yes. What happened to the viewers, Corbin? You were probably doing some kind of a scam with some AI bot. Because the 500 people aren't going to watch my channel. It's just not going to happen. Even when I was streaming on Lewis's channel, there was like 15 people watching. So yeah, there's no way in hell that 500 something people are gonna watch. I don't know, you guys. I think this SSD might have a fighting chance. Come on. Why are you acting like you have a dead heating element? Oh, wait, because you probably do have a dead heating element. Good enough. Yeah. I should have shielded my flux when I had set 500 something viewers. That would have been more effective. I didn't even think of that. 91% say yes. Do we have any that say no? No, it's just 90. Yeah, okay. Yeah, someone said no. It doesn't tell me who it is, though. Well, the SSD. Let's see. I don't know. I think this SSD has a little fight in it. It's going to have no fight if we don't have a chip. Chips of such types tend to get stolen. We're savages on board, so yeah. Be right back. Aha! I found one. I have to go in the other room, the scary room. The room in my office that even I'm scared to go into. There's a room in my office that's very scary. Are newer M1 and M2 MacBooks much harder to be repaired? No, they're easier than T2. No, M1 and M2 is much easier than T2, by far. A little bit much flux. By a little bit, I mean a lot bit. Let me change my tip so we don't get scammed again. Caleb, are you OG enough to have an Xperia X1? Xperia X1. Oh, I remember that. I remember those. 2008. Yeah, I remember the. let's get the stencil. See, we have one little pad here that's not quite. Is it fair to say that GPU and M1, M2 acts as discrete even though it's only in one? No, it's integrated. It's not acting as a discrete itself. It's just a very powerful integrated. Caleb says, what is Pokey doing? I don't know. Go to her channel and ask her what she's doing, because I'm not sure. Here, go here. Too loud. And you will have your answer, Caleb. Discrete means discrete, which is separate. Yeah, no, it's not separate. It uses the same memory that the CPU uses. And I like how Apple comes up with like names. Oh, unified memory. You mean unified memory, but you mean the same thing that Windows laptops have when they have an integrated GPU? Alright, let's get this reballed. Will this fit? No. I want one that fits. Fit? No. Don't tell me none of them on here are gonna fit. Some more stencils. Yeah, Apple comes up with very confusing marketing terms for nonsense that doesn't even make sense. Unified this, no, it's integrated graphics. Integrated graphics. It's a very good integrated graphics, but so is the 680M in my laptop. Am I mentally challenged today or something? Because I don't understand why I can't find a stencil that fits this when I've done it 10 million times in the past. I think something's wrong with my brain. If I even have one such things. This fits. Caleb feels the need to tell us that he has worms. Thank you for sharing, Caleb. Everyone should tell Caleb to stop eating at the taco truck at the corner. Not the taco truck, the taco stand that leaves stuff unrefrigerated for 10 million hours. Alright, now it's very, very important that we don't put the chip on backwards. No! Here it is. Where is it? We've got to make sure we put this chip on the right way, because if we put the chip on the wrong way, if we put the chip on backwards, that's bad. That's very bad. Then we'll find out if the SSD is dead. I don't like this stuff on top. Alright, let's look at our orientation. Dot is in the bottom. Bottom outside corner. Go. Now we kind of made it hard for ourselves because we used too much flux. I should have said I made it hard for myself because I used too much flux. But that's me. Caleb says pokey SSD. We're not going to poke the SSD right now. There, it's on. We're going to let it cool down. We're going to measure it and see if it's 7 volts again. And then we're going to see if the SSD will be dead. And apparently $90 to replace soldered on charge part on a JoyTab tablet is unreasonable. He wanted it done on the spot. Yeah, those kind of people can go away. Can I visit after 3? Sure. You could visit any time before 6. Alright, let's see if we get booting current. Should check if it's 7 volts, I guess. Oh, I don't have high hopes. I don't have high hopes. What? No. I got scammed. I thought it was higher than it was. I thought it was like 49. .59 volts. Now, with all due respect, it's a very good possibility. This is in recovery mode now. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is hook this up to Apple Configurator and see what it does. Now that's in the scary room, so I can't show you guys what's in the scary room. So we're going to put this back in the enclosure. We're going to plug it in. Where did I put the enclosure for this machine? Help if I had working eyes. Oh, here it is. We're going to set this back in. What did I miss? Nothing yet. You're about to miss if the SSD is dead on this machine or not. The battery's a little corroded. So the very first thing I'm going to do is see if it recognizes in DFU or recovery. And it's very common that if they go to the Apple Store first, they'll force it into recovery. But 7 volts in our SSD, that's not very good. Another thing with DFU, we have to make sure everything of importance is plugged in. But I mean, like everything. We don't want it to fail on anything. Now, if it is in recovery, it's either going to pass and work, or it's going to fail and give us an error that will lead us to the right direction, which usually means a dead end, sadly. Caleb says it's gonna pass. Yeah, that's probably the case. Yeah. Almost. Almost. First I'll plug it in and see if it does anything. Battery, we want our battery plugged in. That'll give us some issues if it's not. .20 volts, 0.09, 0.07, 0.06. Yeah, and it does nothing, as I suspected. It's acting like the battery's bad too. Anyway, we'll be right back. Let's see if it goes into DFU, or if it's already in DFU or recovery. Probably in recovery, because the Apple Store forces these into recovery, and that doesn't work. And let's see. Nope. Try the other port. And I always like to try with a Thunderbolt cable and a USB cable. Neither. So in this case, really our only option is to force it into DFU and see what it does. Sometimes the firmware is corrupt after that happens. I've seen that. I mean, the NAND got jolted with 7 volts. So the thing is, this is for data. So if, you know, if we can't very well get anything if the NANDs are dead. But let's see. I am going to solder a wire across the SOC force. Somebody was already doing this. See that? Somebody was here already. So chances are this is a no-go. Somebody did bad things to this MacBook. Regardless, if this doesn't work, then data's no. We could even have a functioning device after if we restore it, if the NAND got jolted like that, but this is for data, so. All right, we'll be back. And that's interesting. It's still not recognized in DFU. That makes me think that we have an issue with our port or something. Try the different. No, there we go. DFU. Okay. We're going to click Actions, Revive. And now we're going to wait, and we're going to come back in a few minutes and see what our verdict is. And it's time to call it a quits for right now, because yeah. So now we're just waiting. That's all we're doing is waiting. See what it's looking like. Installing system. No Apple logo. Not a good sign. It'll give a helpful error code usually. Usually. Other times it won't give a helpful error code. Oh, and now the algorithm is bringing us back up to 51 viewers. Of course. Is it something like when we're just finishing something, then the algorithm just goes psh, and everybody comes in? So now we have to fix something else. Let's see if this failed or not. $4014, that is dead T2 RAM. That is dead T2 RAM. Almost every time that is dead T2 RAM. Alright, let's take a look at this A1707 that's not charging. Hang on one second here. We'll get to it right now. Alright. So back to this. This is an A1707 that says both ports are not charging. So let's see what that means. And I see we already have some physical damage on this board. So 5 volt, 0.02, 0.03. This other one, 5 volts, 24 static. That is a hint whenever we have a higher amp draw on one port than the other. So let's go ahead and switch over to this. And as you can see, this board has some other issues here. Somebody did a pokey right here. That's what happened. I did a pokey. And then this happens. So the first things first, let's get this connector off the board. And we'll replace it later. That's a screw mount. I wouldn't really worry about that. Oh, we're going to remove this. And where's my flux? Caleb wants an iPhone 4. See if I could fix these pads here. I think I can. That one. Than it was, though. At least it's not touching anymore. So let's just look for visual signs of anything. Dusty, but oh, another pokey right here. Someone had another pokey right here. Interesting. Before I just do anything more, I should really look and see what else surprises am I going to find. Okay, so this has got to go. Hall effect sensor's got to go. We'll replace it because it is physically damaged, as you can see. And then we'll go on to diagnosing the actual issue. I just want to take off anything that's physically damaged just so we're not possibly getting tricked. There we go, because we could have a shorted component that's causing this and it's just physical damage there. You never know when stuff goes to other repair shops first. Just put a little solder there. And the solder's stuck around a board. It's like tangled on this donor board. Okay, there we go. Gonna have to make fake solder balls here. This is gonna be the last thing we do because it'll get blown away if we have to replace any chips or anything. So we will replace this last. Turn this up. Yeah, that tip sucks for this. We'll just use the edge of this one. Come on. Okay, I'm just gonna try and make them all even. A little more flux for this. Good enough for now. All right. So now I'm pretty sure the issue is going to remain the same. So when we're looking at one CD3215 with high amp draw, usually it means the LDO is shorted to ground. Not always, but sometimes it means the LDO is shorted to ground. So on one port we have 5 volts and 0.24. It goes up to 0.20, 0.17, so it's kind of going up and down. On this other port I have 0.03, 0.2, 0.3. That did change some, so it's 0.3. Then let's go over to the other side, and I'm looking on the other side of the board because, or I have the light, not, what am I saying? I have the light off because I can't see the screen on the ammeter with the light on. 5 volts, 0.02, 0.03, PD 2.0 fixed. PD 2.0 fixed, and holy crap, it's pulling over an amp on one of these ports. So on one of these over here, it's pulling over an amp of current. That is nuts. So let's look. What could be over here pulling over an amp of current? What? Let's find out. What's pulling an amp of current over here? Something's definitely very hot over here. I don't know what, but something is not right over here. Everything looks normal-ish. Let's look at the thermal. Yeah, okay, we're gonna have to break out the thermal, and let's hope it works, because sometimes the thermal doesn't work, and by sometimes I mean it doesn't work when OBS is open, like, at all. But maybe today will be special. Maybe today will be special. Today is not special. It doesn't work. So let's try and see if I can get it to work in the camera app or something. Nope. We'll try. It does not work when OBS is open at all. Okay, so I can't show you guys. That's fun. Alright, so we're going to use old-fashioned methods. Get a syringe. I'm going to fill it with acetone or alcohol or any other low flash point fluids that probably is not safe to put on a board that's getting boiling hot. And we're going to do this. Alright, get it nice and saturated. So it's nice and saturated, and then we're going to plug it in. Let's see what boils. It's at 5 volts now, of course. There we go. There's knocked off stuff over here too. Alright, I'm going to have to use my portable to find this. Which sucks because you guys won't be able to see it because I can't show you because the Quanly stuff doesn't work when OBS is open. Which sucks, but... Where is my portable? Here's my portable. Okay. This is a crappy FLIR DM166. But it works. I could probably give you guys like laser poisoning or something. Let's see, 152 viewers. Let's try to look into the light. Into the light. It's probably not good for the camera. But anyway, we have our thermal. So we're going to plug it in again and figure out what is taking over an amp of current here. So plug it in. See, now it's intermittent. It's not all the time. It's at 5 volts now. 5 volts. 4 and 1 amp. Oh, no, it went away. But something on the bottom side. Okay. What? This board is not behaving normal. Something in here. Okay. It's something right in here. The resolution is not good enough on this camera to kind of see it, but it's something. Something in this area, or oh, I know what it might be. Aha. No, I thought that was a hole. Doesn't have a hole. Let's try again. Kind of holding the thermal camera. Yep, that's what it is. That's what it is. 178 degrees Celsius. That's hot. And I saw it light up. I should probably show, yeah, because someone's going to say, like, oh, you just made that up, this and that. Could see it's already evaporating because it's so hot in that area. But, yeah. See? Hot. It's so hot that it wouldn't even come out of the syringe. You get it. That's what's wrong with it. So that's nice. That's a nice fix. Clippy. Now we're going to heat. This is the Thunderbolt controller, by the way. Will it boot without it? Yes, it will. Too much. That's already a good amount of flux for our replacement. I'm going to go take this off of another 1707 board. Yeah, 1706, close enough. Right. It has the chip. 1706 has the chip. All board lives matter. No 1706 left behind. Just because it's a 1706 doesn't mean its chips don't belong on the greater 1707. Lesser board lives matter. Somebody was in here already, so I don't know if I hopes for it, but I'm gonna pull it off, clip the thingy off. And it's coming off the donor, and you will see a chip being reballed very momentarily. Find the right stencil for this. Okay, I know I have a stencil for this. It's not fair that stencils have legs. No, they get used and then they get put in the wrong place. It's really a scam. My stencils disappear. Stencils shouldn't have to disappear. Cause delays in repairs because stencils disappear. It's not fun. I think it's a Mac 3 I'm looking for. Which should be right up here, but it's not there. Caleb, where did you move my stencils to? Everybody in chat, blame Caleb E for my stencil being misplaced, and hence you guys are watching nothing because Caleb E misplaced the stencil. Because that's why we're in this predicament right now. It's all Caleb's fault for misplacing the stencil. Disappeared. Both of them. Both Mac 3 stencils for 1707 and 1706 are not here anymore. What a scam. Oh well, I guess we're not reballing that until tomorrow when I order a new stencil for it to get here tomorrow. Because don't really have a choice. It's not here unless it's here. No, it's not here anymore. And it's a weird footprint, so it's not like we could use another one. Yeah, it's a pretty weird Intel footprint. And the newer boards, the newer Thunderbolt controllers use this one. It's not that one. It's this big one. Oh well. It's gotta be here somewhere. And you know what's gonna happen is I'm gonna finish streaming. And then magically, what's gonna be there? The stencil. That always happens. Always happens. Aha, here it is. It's on this one. This one has it. This one has it. This one has it. Yes. There we go. All right. Solder paste. Q-tip. We might screw up on the first try. That's fine. Get my glass. Okay, 124 people watching, but only 25 likes on the stream. That seems pretty suspicious. So if you're watching this and you're a real person, like the stream, because I'm not convinced. I suspect that these are not real people watching this. Yeah, if you're a real human being, like the stream, it's not that hard. Just a button. Christian Iverson says, well, what if we're all living in a simulation? What if we're all living in nonsense created by people that I consider to be my friends? Now there's a little bit of junk. I'm going to put a little bit of flux just to kind of wash it. I don't like this syringe. So there's these syringes that I pull with like little syringes that I pull off the production flux to test it. And they're not really the best quality. That's what I'm using right now, rather than just waste it. Alright. And if this works, this is it for right now. I want to relax and stop talking for a few because my throat is feeling like I don't want to talk anymore. So, 820-00281, 0281. And our orientation is the bottom corner. Gonna wipe this off so you can see. That's it. We're done. Gonna wait for it to cool down, and then I know we have to replace that connector or get a few resistors to replace, but whatever. See if it works after it cools down. Did you get the engine running yet? I have not. I got one cylinder head on. I got to get the other one on someday. Probably not this weekend, but someday when it's ready. And then I could go get it painted because it looks like garbage. Did I lose my? No. Okay. Alright, so now we should be getting 5 volts at low amperage, then 20 volts. If we're lucky, we'll get 20 volts. No. 5 volts, 0.03. 5 volts, 0.03. And it's cycling. Okay, that's different behavior. Does this one cycle? Yep. Okay. I think I know what's wrong. I think now one of these resistors that was knocked off is the problem. So let's look what these are for. There's our ROM. So we have 2 resistors that are knocked off. Australian imitation. I was not intimidating or imitation an Australian. I was just me. That was just nonsense. I was not intending to intimidate. Not intimidate. Imitate an Australian. Thermal sensor. TBT clock out. That's important. Okay. Wait, that wasn't knocked off. Oh, it's not here on this board. Okay, no, there's a cap there. Cap there. Okay, so none of this essentially matters. I hate boards with physical damage like this. Because this is what happens. They end up not being fixable because of knocked off stuff or something or other. Nothing knocked off here. Where's the ROM here? There's a diode that's knocked off. What is that for? Is this important? USB-C reset L. Yes, that's important. That's very important. The two other caps are like meh. I don't care about them. They're just little thermal sensor caps. They don't matter. Now I really need a 1707 board to pull that diode. It's going to be this little tiny glass diode that's going to be hard to not break. Not really hard, but... Oh, the upside down display. Okay. See, now we're back down to, yeah, 770 likes. There's some kind of a scam going on here. 770 likes. Yeah, nope, there's a scam. I smell a scam. I kind of like this type of scam because it could drive up my viewership. And that further pushes the algorithm. So I kind of want to figure out what kind of a scam this is so I could run this scam on my own channel. I gotta get a 1707 donor. It's 1990. Wait, I should make sure that 1707 doesn't have it either, and it looks like it's a no stuff. So, if it's a no stuff... Pedro isn't here. Yeah, it can't be Peter. So, I don't know who's doing this. Someone is doing something fishy on this channel because there's no way I'm getting 770 likes. Okay, is this even a stuffed component? Let's look. No stuff. Okay, so we chased the wrong thing. Yeah, there's something going on. This is gonna get me banned for some reason. Yeah, I don't like this. This is kind of disturbing me now. It's more, what's more creepy is like, why is someone paying to help my channel? That's more creepy. What ulterior motive do they have? He's called Mr. I Scam You for a reason. Exactly. Could blame Peter. I always call him Peter. Alright, on this side, 5 volt 02. Alright. So we're going to start now trying to diagnose why this might be the case. So when we have 5 volts or low amp draw like that, the first suspect I want to look for is I want to see what we're getting on PP3V3 G3 hot. 3.4, 3.38. Okay, it's not that. DCP 1.5 on this port. DCP 1.5 on this port. Is it going to switch or do anything? Nope. PD 2.0 fixed on this side. Oh, this is some kind of a Thunderbolt compatibility thing. I bet if we take the chip off that we just replaced, it'll work. Let's try that. This is something going on here. Right to repair is the same as always. Apple has found ways to make loopholes and be like, oh, we're providing parts while simultaneously making things harder to repair and forcing you now to get parts through them or you'll lose certain functions. So no, it's not like Apple's a friendly repair company. Let it cool down. Let's see if it works now with that removed. And I'll dig a 1707 out and change it, but I'm getting tired of talking because I've been streaming for 3 hours. I feel better leaving you guys alone now that I know it's a few people, not 700 something people. Yeah, still cycling, doing weird stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to cut it quits on this board for right now. I'm going to move on. I'm going to get something to eat. I'm going to drink something. And then I will see you in the next stream or video. I have a video to upload. Actually, I already uploaded it. Just need to publish it. But that's it for right now. Thank you for watching.